Hey guys, it's Gus, and as you all know, there are some stupidly expensive companions in the auction house. And some of them are very expensive because they're really good. Some of them are expensive because they're really good and really rare. Some are just really rare and have no value. But there's one companion in particular that I think stands out above all of them. But before we get to that, let's go through some notable, why is it doing that? Some notable contenders in no particular order. The first is the Feral Velociraptor. This companion is really good. It's just like the tame Velociraptor, except it's awareness. So if everybody's using a Feral Raptor and a tamed Raptor, everybody gets 19% power and 19% awareness. Or, yeah, awareness. It's really good. It's just that it's not practical because you can't expect everybody on the team to have it. Um, because of this price tag, right? And there's so few of them. Actually, 5.8 million is pretty cheap. I think this was only obtainable by charging Zen, and I think it was like 3 years ago. So I've heard rumors that it can drop doing a particular skirmish. I've never verified it. I've never heard anybody say that's true except one person. But this one's really rare, really expensive, really good. The Feral Raptor. And the next one is now this one's very practical. This one's a super striker, and it's the Get Yankee. And there's three in the auction house, 30 mil each. And these were never unbound until they came out in the, I think, three Astro Lock boxes ago, possibly two Astro Lock boxes ago. It was a super rare drop. It's an awesome striker companion, good on all your alts because it's account bound. But look at that price tag. Jeez. And the next one is the Zerial companion, which is in the current Astro Lock box. It's not very practical, but it's not the account one that's expensive. It's the epic one at 20 million. And this was only obtainable by doing the top 100 in the Avernus leaderboard on, I believe, the fourth event. I could be wrong on that. But again, this is just a trophy item. The account one is obtainable in the current lockbox, and the mythic account wide was given to all the players as a make good for bringing out the account bound. Go figure. And the next one is this one's very practical. I don't know why it's so rare, but it's the Wolf Companion. It's not at the same prices as these. Gosh, I gotta go to the end, guys. All the way back over to like 300. I because if you there's no way to that I know of to just search wolf by itself. And the wolf, look at it, 1.9 mil for a blue. I sold an epic a couple days ago for 2.5 mil. And what this does is a utility slot that gives 7.5% crit sev. And I know some classes have crit sev as their forte, but for some classes, capping crit sev can be very difficult if you're min-maxing. It's a really good companion. I've used it multiple times in multiple builds. Um, Another one is the Black Dragon Ion Stone. And this one, it used to drop all the time, but look at this. There's one unbound in the auction house. That price is kind of misleading, but if you're free to play and you don't have any Zen, then you can't get it from the Zen market, where it is only 1,500 Zen. And you know, with the 30% off sale, it's only 1,000 Zen. So that unbound one is worth a pretty penny. Now the next one on the list, a lot of players want, but I don't have this at the top of the list, and that's the Paranoid Delusion. Oh yeah, there's one. Hey Smexy, there's only one in the auction house. There's probably a few more floating around that are unbound. This was obtainable last December when the Nox lockbox came out, and those were pretty cheap. They were like 60 Zen each, and they were a rare drop, but they were unbound. Apparently, it's been said on a stream that these are not obtainable in the game anymore, that they've removed them from the loot tables. So the one, two, or three still unbound, floating around the market, are fetching a really good premium. And it used to also be purchased in the, I believe, not the Scourge Warlock, but it was one of the class packs. You could get the Paranoid Delusion. So it's pretty rare. It's very expensive. It's actually amazing for some classes. I don't play those classes. I play HR, and it's pretty dog shit. And believe it or not, this is a weird one that if we would have saw this coming 2 years ago, people would have stocked up. It's the Ghost Companion. Look at this. Let's get past these Hellmites. Drop like candy in the Winter Festival. Let's go to the Ghost. Cheapest one is 1.2 mil. What's the Epic at? 4.4 mil. Shit. Hey, Rip, what up, buddy? So, what's good about this companion, it gives power and crit chance in a utility slot. And you can actually look at this. I'm actually using this in the current build. I'm using right now, believe it or not. Uh, it's a decent companion. I'm using a Raptor and Ghost, believe it or not. So, but in if you're totally min max, that power is going to go to waste. So, what's the most valuable companion? Well, there's two. There's two. And I know some people might disagree with this, and it might be different on different platforms. But what some people might think is the most rarest is this, the icosahedron ion stone. And I know on PC it was only available in the Foundry. I don't know if it was Unbound or not. I believe it was Unbound, and that was years and years ago. And I know it just came out in one of the recent battle passes, but that was it, and that was bound to account. So there's very, very few Unbound floating around in the market, and I don't think on PS4 there's any in the auction house. I'm not saying this is the only one that I have, but there's none listed. I think there's a few out there. Very expensive. I've sold a couple fairly recently, one for 58 mil and one for 38 mil. Uh, but I don't think this is the rarest. The reason I say that is because it was recently in a battle pass. I can still get it from the Zen market. That's because I purchased it before they took it off the Zen market. So if I go here, mm, any of the people who've been playing for a while and bought it, I can just get them for free on all my alts. But the rarest companion in the game that I have been looking for years for, finally got listed in the auction house. And players that are like super vets, billionaire AD wise in the game have told me it was never Unbound, and I said I think it was, and I found one finally, looking almost every single day for over a year, and that is this guy, the Archmage's Apprentice. And I have this currently equipped on my companion. It was the cheapest companion in the auction house. When you go to companions, look at, well, this is just because of the event. They're 500 each, but normally they're all 1,500, 1,000 for blues, 1,500 for epics, right? Uh, I've gotten many of them, so you're it's not showing them. These are only because of the event. The uh, the Archmage's Apprentice was only 400 AD. It was so cheap, but it was garbage. And the only reason I got it is because after they nerfed to Oblivion speed bonus in the game, uh, we needed more sources of movement speed. So I was like, 400 Zen? Shit, I'll buy that. And I finally found one. And I use this every single day when I run all the easy content like Reapers, Voss, RTQs, RAQs. I use it. It's only for like MTOS and trials I don't use it. So my normal setup when I'm running all the easy stuff like Reapers, Vault Stars, and all the scaled content is I will replace the Batiri with the Archmage's Apprentice, and then utility power I will go with the. Where are you? Oh, I'll go with the icosahedron. So I know people say, "Well, that's not optimal. You don't have stats." Well, with this kind of movement speed, and you're also running with this. You're flying. I mean, you're making the tanks sweat. They're like, what the F? And it's kind of funny because tanks don't like the DPS to get ahead of them. And I know when you read the forums, they'll say, wait for the tanks. Well, I'll say the good tanks don't make the group wait on them and waste time. The good tanks get their movement speed up and stay ahead of the group so nobody has to wait on them because everybody wants to get that old scaled content done as fast as possible. So you're flying with it. So I use Archmage's Apprentice every day. That 5% movement speed is amazing. It's attack, but if you summon it, it's pretty dog shit. I did a video on it maybe maybe a year and a half ago, but there is actually an Unbound one on PS4, and I believe if it was Unbound on PS4, there could possibly be an Unbound version on Xbox and PC. Now, the player who listed this in the auction house, I actually sent them a private message saying, hey, you wouldn't happen to have any more of these, would you? And by the way, would you mind letting me know where you got it? Because I haven't been able to find it. And they said, they stopped playing in like 2017 and came back to the game and were selling a bunch of stuff to get AD. And lo and behold, the Archmage's Apprentice. I think this is, as an Unbound companion, the rarest companion in the game. If you don't think it is, please comment below. If you have any notable others for me to cover, please comment below as well. Stay classy, Neverwinter. See you soon.